brewmasters took meticulous notes during each stage of the brewing process, from how long to steep the grains to ratios of hops and yeast. There was no way to identically craft the exact same beer each time. Often in second and third iterations of a beer, we would make minor adjustments to pull out specific flavors or reduce the bitterness. It was a constant tweaking, and one of the reasons that brewing had turned into my dream job. It might be hard, physical labor, but it was never boring. Garrett mopped sweat from his brow and removed his chemistry goggles.
I think that's it. Not bad for an early start. Now I need a coffee. Or a pot of coffee.
I smiled. Garrett and I had opposite rhythms, which worked well in our professional relationship. We had recently transformed the upper floor of the building he had inherited from his great-aunt Tess into beercation suites. 4 guest rooms, themed after the 4 elements of beer: water, yeast, hops, and grains, offered visitors a unique immersive experience that included a beer-infused breakfast, brewery tours, and complimentary tastings. We had officially opened for guests in January and had seen steady bookings ever since. There wasn't a weekend between now and Oktoberfest that we weren't sold out. Garrett had wisely decided that it was time for another set of hands at Nitro and had hired 2 college students who were home for summer vacation, Casey and Jack, to help pour pints, wait tables, prep pub fare, and wash dishes. Our permanent hire, Kat, had taken on a larger role building out our social media presence, managing guest reservations, and being our go-to person in the tap room. She had mastered how to pour a perfect pint and the subtle nuances of each of our beer profiles in a short amount of time. I finished stirring the hops and climbed down the stainless steel ladder. I wouldn't turn down a coffee. Kat should be done with breakfast cleanup. Then she and I are going to review the special Maifest weekend menu and make sure Casey and Jack are ready for the onslaught of beer enthusiasts.
Sounds good. I'll go wash up and get ready to open the tasting room.
Garrett tossed his chemistry goggles into a bucket of cleaning solution.
After I down a cup of coffee.
I'm right behind you, I chuckled, kicking off my boots. Then I wiped the paddle with cleaning solution and hung it on the rack on the far wall. I stopped in the bathroom to douse my face with water. My olive-toned cheeks were pink from exertion. I cooled them with a splash of cold water and retied my long dark hair into a high ponytail. I found myself staring in the mirror a minute too long. I knew why. I was hoping that my reflection might hold the key to who I was. Everything I had thought I knew about my past and my family here in Leavenworth had come into question recently. I had grown up in the foster care system. Being bounced from house to house had come with challenges. But it had also made me the strong, independent woman I was today. When I met Mac, my soon-to-be ex-husband, the experience of feeling like it was me against the world had shifted. His family, Otto, Ursula, and his younger brother, Hans, had welcomed me without judgment or expectation. For the last 2 decades, I had been a Krause. Otto and Ursula had become my surrogate parents and doting grandparents to my son, Alex. Then everything fell apart. I caught Mac cheating on me with the beer wench at Der Keller, the Krause family brewery and Leavenworth's largest employer. The shock of Mac's infidelity was nothing compared with what I had learned about Otto and Ursula, the sweet German couple who adopted me as one of their own and taught me their brewing legacy had been living a lie. Sally, my caseworker from my foster care days, had uncovered information that linked the Krauses with Nazi war criminals and flagged them as potential Nazi sympathizers. She had been convinced that Otto and Ursula had been funneling funds from Der Keller to Ernst, Otto's uncle and one of the last living members of the Nazi regime, who had escaped to America after the war. I had confronted them immediately. They admitted that they had changed their names when they fled Germany in the 1970s. However, they insisted their move to Leavenworth wasn't because